Greetings, this is Jenny Jo Allen, and I am a clairvoyant medium, Reiki master, and medical intuitive, and I also absolutely adore crystals, and I'm going to do a little tutorial on how to get started with your pendulum. So this pendulum is made from an amethyst crystal, and it's the perfect shape. It's a really super good shape. You can pretty much use anything for a pendulum that will swing. So, you know, like, I don't know, this necklace might not work that great, but pendants will work, all different kinds of things will work. But this shape right here is perfectly weighted to swing nicely. There are some configurations, like if you have the chain too long, or if your pendulum that you're using isn't heavy enough. Those kinds of things can really affect the way that your pendulum swings and if it works properly or not. So what we're going to do to begin with is whenever you're working with crystals or with anything that you're imbuing with your own connection magic, you want your pendulum to connect with your own energy. So to begin with, you want to like hold it in your hand and say hello, like hi. You kind of create this little way of communicating, because that's what your pendulum is doing. It's tapping into your own higher knowing and helping you understand your own knowing better, and it's communicating kind of through you and for you. So the first thing to do with your pendulum is to ask it which way for no, which way for yes, and which way for maybe or I don't know. And so the way that I do it is I hold my pendulum in between my forefinger and my thumb, and that's what feels comfortable for me. Some people do this thing where they hold it like this and let their pendulum, this works better for a longer string. For this short string, you either want to hold it with your forefinger and thumb, or you could hold it you know, whatever way works best for you. There's also this way where you grab it like that and you put it over your finger, and that way it's kind of directly under your palm. And these, your palm chakras, are what has a direct connection with your energy. So what your pendulum is doing is kind of an extension of your own energy. Okay, so figure out which way is the most comfortable for you for holding your pendulum. And then the other thing that I like to do that, I hold it in my dominant hand. And then with my non-dominant hand, I put underneath the pendulum. And basically what that does is it kind of creates an amplification of my own energy through my palm chakra. So with the pendulum over my palm chakra, then I ask which way for yes. Can you see it moving? And this is always my yes. Once you establish which way for yes, it's pretty much going to be the same no matter what pendulum you use. So you can see that's a pretty good swing there. That's a definite yes. Okay, so then what you do is you kind of like, you hold it and you go, okay, clear. You just use your intention to clear that answer and signify to your pendulum that you're starting a new question. So now I'm going to say which way for no. And we're just going to wait for a sec and let it start to swing. Okay, there we go. It's starting off slow, and that's okay. There we go. Now we're getting the clear no. You may find that your no goes around in a circle, or that your yes goes around in a circle in a certain direction. And that's totally fine. You don't have to have it the way that I do it. Have it the way you do it. That'll be way more better for you. Okay, so now, see how I grabbed it and I just like, okay, whoop. We just used intention to kind of clear. Okay, now we're on to the next question. And I'm going to ask, which way for maybe? Okay, so it looks like we're doing a counterclockwise spin here. That's the way for maybe. I'm usually just interested in which way for yes, which way for no, but maybe is a good one. And then you can also ask which way for I don't know. So let's try that. I usually ask that one, which way for I don't know. Oh yeah, we might be doing a clockwise spin here. Let's check that out. Oh yeah, it looks like a clockwise spin. Clockwise spin is I don't know. Okay, and see how it's like not very definite? That's really funny. I mean, I think that's really funny because, you know, I don't know is very indefinite, right? That's great. Okay, so those are the basics for how to get started with your pendulum. And there are tons of ways to use your pendulum. I often suggest to clients when they're asking me about supplements, like, oh my gosh, have you ever tried to buy probiotics? There are like a billion probiotics. There's so many choices. It's like way overwhelming. Like, how do you choose which one is going to be the best one? Well, you could bring your pendulum. So those are the pendulum basics, and I hope you have a great time with using your pendulum. All right, so click on the link below to get your amethyst pendulum. And just remember, you are loved and you are lovable.